And I think everything that curated my passion for art, it didn't happen in New York City. It didn't happen in like a big metropolitan area. It happened here. I walked into Hubbard Hall looking for a bathroom on my way home from school, and they were having auditions, and someone downstairs said, "Oh yeah, it's down at the end of the hall. Do you mind coming upstairs and reading something for us?" And I was like, all right, whatever. And I went upstairs and read, and then, ended up getting cast as like a lead in a Shakespeare play, the first play they were doing when they were forming the theater company. So it's real legitimate theater to me, and it's setting that expectation for myself of like how I need to be and work in this environment. And that's what they're doing. The people out there, Kevin and Benji, they're setting the professional expectation and the sit in the chair and watch and don't be on your phone and pay attention. You'll learn something. Great. Janet is sitting next to me and leaning over my shoulder and just going, you know, Michael, you're really, really good. You're really very good. Every night for years. Confidence is built by the environment that you're in and the people around you. The majority of my time was spent in a place where that one person was sitting next to me the whole time going, you're really very good. In my neighborhood where I live in Brooklyn, Ethan Hawke owns a brownstone there, and sometimes he'll be out walking his dog and this and that. And I go, he's a person I really respect. I've always listened to how he talks about art, and it's really genuine and passionate. And I thought in my mindset for the past 3 years, knowing that he lived there and walking past it, walking his dogs, I could have just said anything. It's just a person communicating to a person, you know what I mean? But instead I was like, oh, fuck, I work at a gym. And, I was walking home from work last year, and he comes out of his brownstone with the trash in his hand as I know where he lives because walking past it, I turn around and, start the conversation in the dumbest way possible, because that's kind of, I say, are you Ethan Hawke? And I'm like, great, off to a great start. And he doesn't say, yes, I am. He just takes his sunglasses off and, extends his, hey, you guys, yeah, what's your name? But I just told him that the way he talks about art, I said, so many people genuinely feel that way. And I think the thing that you sustain in a lot of artists is making them feel okay that it is as important as they feel it is. But he got like teary-eyed, and he said, I think it's that important too. And to answer your question, it was this thing of realizing like, oh, this is the world I align with so much, and why am I so out of alignment with it? I worked at a Best Buy when they had like a music and DVD department in the basement. As I was working there, I was in a break room and someone said, oh, you're an actor, right? And they threw a piece of paper on the thing and they said, yeah, there's like an open call for this show. It means anyone can go. And I went to it and I sat there for 5 hours, and all the other actors that came out said, they're probably done casting it. They're probably not gonna cast anyone else, to like everyone that was still waiting. And I'd been there since like 6 in the morning, and I just a couple people that got up and said, oh, they cast it already, and left. And I just sat there. And then I went in and they said, oh yeah, you're here to read for this part, right? And I read for that part, and they said, oh yeah, that's great. The whole time I sat in the hallway, like 5 or 6 hours, I literally kept going, I can get this. Confidence is king. I know it can happen. But then it's like I walked out of there, and 5 minutes later my phone rang, and they were like, hey, can you come be at the show tonight, and you'll just follow the guy who's currently playing the role that we want to offer you. And we got into the show as the last 4 tickets that were available for Rush. It was on stage in a church, so we sat in church pews, and in front of us, Philip Seymour Hoffman was sitting there scribbling a bunch of notes like crazy the whole show. And that experience, we were like, oh wow, this is what it is. This is like, they're in a church. He's in movies. He's sitting right there, and he cares about it that much. And we thought, that's what it is for us. But if I came up here and said, Andrew, I might want to start a theater company. I'm thinking like, maybe I'll do a play. Maybe I'll just audition some people local, and I have no vision or like real intention to do what I want to do, I'm not going to accomplish it. I think one of the biggest lessons for me is like, if I'm going to do this, I know that no one's going to be on board for it the way I am. I know that no one's going to have the passion for it that I do. So I've got to build the website. I've got to do the marketing. I've got to do the social media. I've got to design the graphics. I've got to select the shows. I've got to get the actors on board. I have to do the contracts. All of that stuff is another thing that I think is like really useful just in general when it comes to creativity, is like dabbling in a bit of everything. If people want to come see it and be involved in it, just reach out to me and I'll give you access to it.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.